we need to craft a backpack. Even if I didn't, I think she deserves to join the zombie horde deck. Hello and welcome back. So this isn't the usual deck breakdown video. I have started writing this video and trying to get around to record it about 6 times now, and I kept telling myself to wait for the right moment to do it. Somewhere along the way I was just like, yeah, it's probably about time to do this video. It's a bit of a strange thing to sit down and talk about myself and the channel for once, as opposed to cards and decks. It's been about 8 months since I last did one of these, and it was pretty much just me throwing a message into the void, because at that point I'd come back to the channel during a redundancy 5 years after I'd actually uploaded to the channel, with one snap video in the chamber and nothing else to go off of. I was constantly asking the question if anybody was there, because I still didn't know how to feel with most of my subscribers coming from Don't Starve and Hearthstone in the past. It turns out there was. This channel has just passed 2,000 subscribers, which in the grand scheme of things in YouTube is not a massive amount. It's not really a number anyone throws a parade for anymore, but for some context, when I came back and started making snap content, this channel was on about 1.6k. So this hasn't been overnight, that was back in November. And since then, a lot of people have unsubscribed. I'm pretty sure that's people who subscribe for the Don't Starve stuff, and I've got a big influx of people subscribing, so the whole time I've been fighting to gain at the cost of losing people as well, so it's been a bit of a tricky uphill battle. But before anything else, I just wanted to say thank you. I'll kind of split it into a thank you for the people who joined for Snap and trusted the content I was making years after the game was released, and you saw just this guy sitting down at his desk and making random videos and decided to stick around. And since then I've evolved the channel and kind of got my own like synthwave theme to the whole thing, and it's been very nice actually having the encouragement from seeing people watch the videos and getting subscribers that's made me feel like it was worthwhile to do that. But some of you are here for a lot longer than that. Some people date all the way back to the Don't Starve and Hearthstone days, and I can see that based on the amount of time people have subscribed to the channel. You probably didn't sign up for Marvel Snap, but people stayed anyway, and that's really like heartwarming to see, realizing that people aren't just there for the game, they're there for you as a person. I don't take that for granted one bit at all. Funnily enough, that second group is what this video is leaning into, the people that stick around for me. If you're here for Snap, don't worry, the Snap stuff isn't going anywhere. We'll get around to what I'm going to be doing with Snap later. But for now, I'll just cover the channel as a whole. But if that's all you were worried about, don't worry, it's not going anywhere. When I brought this channel back those 8 months ago, I told you things were about to change. I was starting fresh, and I even said I was going to get back into Don't Starve, do a proper series, and then as soon as I saw how Snap did, it got more views on one video than I had in like videos I'd record over the course of a month for Don't Starve, disregarding the guides that got like 300,000. But Don't Starve never really arrived because of that. And going back through the channel, reading the old comments, which is something I don't really tend to do, I just thought I was curious to see how the channel had evolved. I found people, more than one, asking me to branch out and try different games, whether it was horror games or someone asked me to cover Hearthstone, which, funnily enough, is why I started making more Hearthstone content in the first place. And it did make me stop and pause for a second, because the idea of the channel that I want to build is one that revolves around variety, per se. I don't want to make it because of one specific game, and people were asking for that years ago on this same channel. I just wasn't necessarily ready to hear it back then. And it made a lot of things click. Here's the thing about the content I used to make. Those were games that stayed still. Don't Starve, people are still watching those guys to this day. It would still be useful all these years later, and people could find value in it. Snap is the complete opposite. The meta shifts every single week, and a card that's essential today will be irrelevant by the time the next patch lands. Half my job is chasing something that refuses to sit still with this game, and you pretty much always have to make the video on a new card the day that it drops, otherwise you're already behind. And that's tough to even miss a week because of how much it changes, and that grind can weigh you down quite a bit, if I'm honest. It's partly the reason this week why I haven't covered Red Wolf yet. Now, the main reason is because I'd actually reached the point where I wasn't playing much Snap in my own time, so I had got to the point where I'm no longer collection complete, with the series, seasonal series pack, so I wasn't actually able to have enough tokens to buy Red Wolf. Luckily, just before starting this recording, I just got around to get enough. That was something that I realized, that I'd actually not played enough of the limited time game modes or things like that to actually keep up the tokens to stay up to date with the game. The thing I love the most about Snap is breaking things down, explaining why things click, sharing that with you, figuring out how things that are releasing in the future are going to work, or putting my spin on cards that already exist, and even in plans in the future I'd like to do custom cards and sort of give an idea for certain like seasons that could exist. I think Rez does a similar thing over on his channel, but it's a cool concept, honestly. And I want to open that discussion to you guys. I have the idea of wanting to cover these other games and do other things. I have a few in mind, but nothing concrete yet. Snap's not going anywhere. It's the home base and I still love it. And I really do cherish what we're all building here. All I want to see is if we can make some other games work alongside it, and I'm telling you all this because I just want to be open with where my head's at. And for a bit of real life context, because last time I mentioned that I had the redundancy, well, I found a job back in March, which funnily enough was when I kicked back off the channel again because I had that little bit of a break in February. And I was working all the way up until I had a break in my contract a few weeks ago that allowed me to put some more work into the channel. Then again, this start of next week, I start a new full-time job in the 3D industry, and funnily enough, a lot of that overlaps with what I do here. Things like the motion graphics, the editing, the modeling side. Those skills do go in both directions. I do the channel in the evenings, and I keep weekends for time with my partner, so it means I'm never going to outpace those bigger channels on sheer volume. But what I can promise is that when I sit down to make something, I do put my best effort into it every time. The 3D industry can be up and down, and I'd be lying if I said there wasn't a part of me that hopes one day this channel could be the main thing that I'm doing. Obviously, I can't promise that because nobody can really see where things go. I'm not putting a timeline on anything, just a direction that I want to kind of start moving in. I figured I should be straight about it because you will be the guys who are coming along for the ride. I mean, if you stuck around to this point in the video of me just talking about the channel, you are the guys that I'm speaking to. So roughly where this is headed. Snap is staying. I just want to say something about Snap itself because it has earned it recently. So here's roughly where we're headed. I do want to say something about the game Snap itself because I know I was a bit negative a minute ago talking about how I haven't been playing the game as much. Well, actually this season it has been earning its positivity. The cards that have released have been genuinely fun and impactful, and there's a lot around the corner. It's in a better place than it has been in a while. They've got new decks on the horizon for new players, which is a very big deal for a game like this. For anyone just trying to get a foothold, and then there's draft mode on the horizon, where the hint in the season teaser for something coming up. I think it's Monday, like the 24th. I think that's the date that there's going to be a new game mode. All hints are pointing that way anyway. It's probably going to be one of the most fun things to happen to Snap in a while, and I'm so excited for it, and I will for sure make a ton of content on it because what it's shaped up to be, thanks to the data mines, actually seems really fun. So definitely stick around if you're excited for that. So no, I'm not bored of Snap at all. If anything, I'm more excited about it than I have been in months, but alongside it, I just want to start bringing in other things because I enjoy the idea of the channel itself, but Snap, we'll see what happens with draft mode. Recently things have been declining, but this could very well be a boom for it. And I will not see what's coming, and maybe at that point I'll be like, okay, let me just go fully back onto Snap. We'll see. If the demand is there, I'll do it, but the channel's had a very slow, steady growth that I want to try and branch out a little bit more. I mentioned that I wanted to try and find a way to bring my 3D and motion graphics work into the channel properly, and I did a zombie horde video about a month ago now, on a break between my contract, and it's the piece of work that I'm most proud of on this channel. It is definitely a direction that I want to move in. It pulled the most new subscribers as well within a video, which is crazy. It really told me that the cinematic story-driven stuff is landing with people, and it did take longer to edit, but that made it much more enjoyable to watch. But the issue with those types of things is if I don't have a lot of time to put into it, it would take me like a week to make, and at that point, a lot of things in Snap are irrelevant. It's sad to say, like, I want to sit down and put loads of effort into editing something, but by the time I've recorded it, edited it, and released it, something new has taken over. And I've got a fair bit more going on off camera. I write, I'm outdoors a lot, and some of that might find me branching my time off to other places as well. We'll just have to see where this all goes. But I suppose that is the part where I actually need you guys. I don't want to just build this in a vacuum, so let me know what games you actually want to see me play. If you prefer that I just stick to Snap, what kind of content pulled you to my channel? If there's a game you've been dying for someone to break down, drop it in the comments, because I will definitely be reading all of them. It's pretty much the whole point of this video, just to get a sense of where my audience wants the channel to go and what you guys came to the channel for. And one last thing before I go, like I said, I have a full-time job. Evenings and weekends mostly spoken for, and I've got to be smarter about pacing them than I used to be. Part of that will be me taking breaks on the channel every so often. Working a full day and then making a video on top of that does take a toll. And I've learned that if I don't step back every now and then, the videos do suffer, and so do I. And I've only really done that once so far in February, but when I do go a bit quiet, that is probably all it is. I'll try and let you guys know through a poll or something. It's not me losing steam, it's just one thing that keeps this sustainable enough for me to doing it years from now. I suppose I do have an X account, I think it is now, technically, that I have not uploaded on in forever, but I could always boot that back up and have it as like a bit of an updates account in case you guys ever want to know what's going on with the channel. And I might take a little bit of a step back for the time being. Don't worry too much about it. Mostly it's because I'm going to be taking some time to get ready for Golden Gauntlet. The Snap tournament, it's actually going to be the first Snap tournament I've ever played in, so I'm very excited for it. And depending on how things go, I may make a video off the back of it. It's kind of just in the concept phase for now. It will take more time to edit, as I say, and then I will also be having a full-time job on top of that. Again, no hard times, no promises, no set dates or anything. That's just a concept for now as well. So that's it. No card of the week, no tier list, just a thank you, an open door, and my ear to listen to the crowd. I wanted to bring you guys in a bit on where the channel's heading and just give you the chance to weigh in on it. And I just felt like being open about it because that's how these things work best. And then you guys know how I feel, where I stand, and what position the channel's in, because as I say, it's been 8 months since I did one of these. To those of you that have been here for 9 years, and to those of you that just showed up last Tuesday for the new card review, thank you. Last time I said if anyone was still here, it would mean the world to me, and now I've got thousands of people turning into my channel video after video, so it really does. And in that video I also said that a new era was starting. I don't think I realized how right I was about that. Thank you guys so much, I appreciate it a lot that you've made it this far in the video. Just drop like a little googly eye emoji in the comments if you did, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. And yeah, thanks in advance, and thanks for everything else, and I'll speak to you all next time.